Oh my God, I know it's a mess in here, but just gonna have to deal with it. I have to deal with it every day. So an update on, hey everybody, welcome. It's Mike from monkeyfabgarage.com, and an update on this gorgeous four-eyed T-top coupe that we got right now. We're putting turbos in there. That's why we got this stuff out here. So the update on what have we done? What have we done since we've gotten this in? Not a whole lot, to be quite honest. I'm doing this in a one take, so you have to forgive me if I'm stumble a little bit. But we got the turbos, and we did some check-in, and we got turbos, and we put turbos in the engine bay, and we tried to see what we got. So the guy wants like 1,200 horsepower capable, which isn't that bad, but we need like either a big turbo or two smaller turbos. I think we covered this, so this is what we're going with, is the small turbos. The only thing we've really done since we gotten this guy, to be quite honest, is just go through this engine bay and figure out stuff. And that really is one of the hardest parts of setting up a turbo system, because you have to kind of run a 3D CAD model in your brain, and everything's got to work. So everything has to work perfectly. We got rid of the little hose adapter, guys, that was on here, and we put in this beautiful 417 water manifold. So we're going to use that. We got rid of, there was like this alternator bracket, had the alternator right around here, which is obviously where I needed to put the turbo. So we got rid of that. And whilst doing that, we went ahead and stepped down to a Corvette pulley, because, like, well, why not? I mean, it's the difference between that and like a truck. See the truck pulley's over here. The truck pulley is super tall, and I don't know. I think it's like 60 millimeters. That sounds like excessive. I always see these 60 millimeter spacers, or they call them for that. So I don't know, but it gives us a little more room to get water hoses and stuff through here, and we will do that. Get a step back and show you what a great looking car this is. So yeah, so basically we were having to kind of build this in our heads and figure everything out, and it's been a lot of staring and a lot of figuring, a lot of, as you can see, a lot of holding pipes and doing this around the engine bay, trying to figure out what's going on. So we're going to use this nice Schedule 10 stuff. I like to use this just because it's super beefy, and you're not going to have problems with, I mean, it could crack, all welds could crack, but you're probably better off with a little bit of beefy stuff. And this guy's about 100. It's a little bit thicker. It's probably about twice as thick as the 16 gauge, I would guess. It's because it's nominal, it scales, and it actually changes a little bit. But we're going to use the thin stuff from the headers, from the heads, to the thicker, this thicker stuff for our main runners. And we're just going to run up to there. So that will be kind of run through here, kind of zoom up and into this. We're going to have to figure out how to get our wastegate, probably come down and around some way, but this has got to come down. The exhaust has got to come off this guy. Well, you'll see. It's going to come right about now, and then it's going to work its way back down through there, which is easy peasy. So we had to mount this guy. See, it's not the sturdiest, but it works. It's all I need, is something hanging in 3D space so I can build to. And yeah, so this is the plan so far, and you'll see that's what we did, is we just tacked, sorry about the sideways view there, but I basically just built a turbo drain. I'll show you real quick. The modern advances that we have today that makes life just so much easier. I just threw this on my scanner, and I 3D I scanned it. I didn't 3D scan it, I just scanned it in the printer, and then I made this. And then I realized that this gasket wasn't going to work. It was too round, and it was hitting the bolts on the turbine. So we just edited it, and we cut two of these guys. And basically how this works is this is welded to the bottom of the chassis on the frame rail. Well, you'll never see it. And that sticks through. Oops. Just like that. And then that guy is welded to the top to hold our turbos in position. So when we cut that off, we'll just put a little bit of undercoating underneath it, but you guys don't care. It's easy peasy, kind of reversible. I made these cool head plate guys so that he wanted them to be simple, and this is not going to be simple by no means because it's not easy to hook this up. So he wanted something that would just be kind of, I can just put the turbo there and go. So I made these stainless steel head plates that are on here, right here. And I think that we'll weld do I have one around here? Probably not. Where is it at? Never have the stuff I need. I'm sorry. So this guy right here, the Maven mount, we'll put underneath the turbo and weld that to the head plate, but only after we're done with everything. So we're going to go ahead and get the manifold ran and the downpipe ran. Then once that's all done, I can stick this on here, bend the bar to fit that guy so that when he pulls it off, he can just take the bolts out of this guy, take off the silicone and the downpipe clamp, and just twist and pull it right out. It'll be easy peasy on both sides. Not that would be really needed because this schedule pipe, I have this bigger, the 78, 76 or 75 or whatever the hell this thing is from Varin, hanging on the Phoenix off of this same stuff. No supports needed. But it's not really so much as a support as it is just a turbo locating device. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually chooses to run those or not. I'm not sure, but we'll get that in there. And yeah, that's about where we're at with the turbo, soon-to-be twin-turbo, four-eyed T-top coupe. I think I'm getting all the monikers correct there. So I'm really excited today. It takes so long to get this part done. So we're going to do the same thing over there because I got to get that guy mirrored up with this guy. So we're going to try to locate them both in the same spot in the engine bay, and we're just going to make a little bit of manipulations with the manifolds, which you're going to have to. It's kind of interesting is if you look and do like a straight across deal, this guy right here, that port there, this port, number 1, is just forward of the Holly, right? So it's just right around here. We go to the other side and check out this port. And you'll see this port right now is a bit further forward on that. Even though this whole head on that side is the head that's actually forward, if you look, you'll see that that one's the one that sits forward. But because of the way the ports are cut, it's actually the actual port that's the furthest forward is this guy. Which, anyway, you just got to realize these things when you're doing the math on how to set this guy all up. So I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I just love this car. It's so pretty. So anyway, just want to give you guys a quick update on where we're at with this guy. Once we get this other turbo hung like this, then it's just going to be a matter of putting the flanges on and start connecting the flanges to the turbo. And yeah, so I think that this is going to be a pretty good deal. Not a whole lot of cutting. I did decide that we're going to go ahead and cut through here, just make it cleaner with the charge pipes not cluttering up the engine bay. We'll have 2 of those guys. I think what I'm going to do is we already bought an intercooler for this guy. It's actually a really nice intercooler from VS Racing, and it weighs a ton. So I'm happy. And usually super heavy intercoolers do a good job of exchanging heat. So the problem with that was that it was an in and out. So it's just a 2 kind of deal. So I think what I'm going to do, since we're able to hide these pipes anyways, I'm going to keep them the same size. So this is only like a 2.5 inch. It's only a 2-inch inner diameter. So we'll keep them pretty small. We'll just run one kind of all the way through the bumper. You won't be able to see it because there's no cuts in the bumper. We'll just run that through and we'll put them both, kind of team them together and put them on one side, and then the other side will just kind of come out into the throttle body or vice versa. Of course, all this is just an idea in my head and what actually happens. And it the chassis dictates what happens. You just try to do your best to take your creative ideas and kind of integrate them in between. But anyway, I'm sorry if this is super boring, but I saw a few people following this and wanted to see what was going on. So that's where we're at. We're hanging turbos and we're connecting dots. So until next time, thanks for checking stuff out. It's Mike with Monkey Fab. If you go ahead and check out the store, monkeyfabgarage.com, sure would appreciate it. Until next time, it's Mike, Monkey Fab, signing out.